All right, let's do this. Today we're going deep on, well, a deep dive into the world of a brigadier.
Sounds intense.
Yeah, we're talking leading troops, high-level strategy, the whole 9 yards.
They'll work.
And to guide us, we've got a whole stack of resources from RoleCatcher.
Guides, sample interview questions, even career progression insights.
It's all here.
Yep, all thanks to RoleCatcher.
So this is for anyone who's even a little bit curious about this, pretty high-pressure leadership role.
Definitely high pressure.
But especially if you're actually prepping for an interview.
Getting ready for the hot seat?
Exactly. No worries, though. We've got you covered.
We'll make sure you're ready.
We'll be tackling some of those, classic Brigadier interview questions.
Those curveballs they love to throw.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll give you a solid framework to, actually build your own killer answers.
We're not just giving you the answers.
Right. It's more about giving you the tools to kind of create your own.
We're teaching you to fish.
Love that analogy.
It's all about empowering you.
Plus, we'll sprinkle in some career tips, straight from those RoleCatcher guides.
Some insider advice.
And for the AI fans out there.
Always got to keep up with the tech.
We'll definitely touch on how RoleCatcher's AI can, help you tailor your responses.
And stand out from the crowd.
Super important in a competitive field like this.
No doubt about it.
So, ready to conquer this interview?
Let's do it.
Okay, so first things first.
Lay the groundwork.
Let's paint a picture of who a brigadier really is.
Beyond the, battlefield image.
Right, because it's more than just barking orders, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's way more than that.
Okay, so paint that picture for us.
Well, imagine this.
I'm listening.
You're managing an entire brigade's division.
Whoa, that's a lot.
Yeah, we're talking headquarters, operations, everything.
The whole shebang.
Exactly. You're responsible for the big picture strategy, but also...
Got to make sure it all gets done.
You got it, that nitty-gritty execution.
So you're basically the conductor of a very complex orchestra.
Love that analogy, making sure everyone is in sync, hitting those high notes.
But with, really high stakes.
Definitely high stakes. Lives are on the line.
And I'm getting a sense from these RoleCatcher guides that this is, seriously demanding.
Oh, yeah, this is not your average 9 to 5.
High stress, long hours, tons of responsibility.
And it's not for the faint of heart.
I can imagine.
But here's the thing.
What's that?
With that challenge comes incredible reward.
Okay. I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Think about it, leading thousands of troops, shaping military strategy, having a real impact on the world.
Wow, that's powerful.
It's a position of immense responsibility.
And influence.
Absolutely. It's not just about you, it's about the people you lead.
So let's say someone is ready for this challenge. They've got the experience, the grit.
They've got what it takes.
And they're staring down a brigadier interview.
Time for the hot seat.
What are some of those curveball questions they might encounter?
Well, RoleCatcher, they have this whole section on, common brigadier interview questions.
That's helpful.
Yeah, and trust me, some of these are designed to, really make you think on your feet.
Okay, now I'm getting nervous for them.
Don't worry, we're going to break it down.
Good, because I'm already sweating a little.
No need for that.
All right, so let's dive into some of these questions.
Let's get tactical.
I love it. All right, the first one that jumps out at me.
Hit me with it.
Tell us about your experience leading troops in combat.
Oh, yeah, that's a classic.
And I'm guessing it's not just about listing off deployments, right?
No, it's way deeper than that.
Okay, so what are they really looking for here?
They want to see your decision-making process under fire.
High pressure.
Big time. How did you handle chaos? How did you adapt to those unexpected situations?
Because we all know those happen, right?
Oh, they happen all the time. And crucially, how did you support your team?
How did you make those critical decisions that, they impact lives?
Exactly. It's about leadership in the most extreme circumstances.
So it's not just about being a, tough commander.
It's about more than that.
It's about thinking clearly, making those tough calls, and leading with empathy, even in those, really intense situations.
You nailed it. That's exactly what they're looking for.
Okay, that makes sense.
And don't be afraid to, talk about the challenges.
Everyone faces challenges, right?
Absolutely. Talk about the mistakes you might have made, what you learned from them.
Because no military operation goes perfectly according to plan.
No way. It's about how you navigate those unpredictable moments.
How you adapt and overcome.
And that's what truly defines your leadership.
Makes sense. So, follow-up questions.
Oh, they'll definitely have some.
Like what?
They might ask you to, elaborate on a specific decision you made.
Walk them through it.
Exactly. The factors you considered, the outcome.
Were there any unintended consequences?
That kind of thing. Or they might ask how you handled the emotional toll.
Because that's a real thing, right?
Absolutely. Leading troops in combat, it takes a toll on everyone.
So they want to know how you handled it, both for yourself and your team.
It's about showing that you understand the human side of things.
So you really need to be prepared to, like, dive deep into the nuances of your experience.
Show that you've reflected on it, grown from it.
Like you've really processed it all.
That's what they're looking for.
Okay, what's another one they might throw out there?
Let's see. How about this one? How do you prioritize and delegate tasks to your subordinates?
Okay, seems straightforward.
But there's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah, it's not just about handing out assignments, right?
It's about knowing your team, their strengths and weaknesses.
Making sure everyone is operating at their full potential.
You got it. Getting the most out of everyone.
So how do you show that you've mastered this?
Give them a concrete example. Think back to a situation where you had to delegate effectively.
Like a real-world scenario.
Yep. Explain the situation, the tasks, and how you assign them based on individual capabilities.
Like a puzzle, fitting all the pieces together.
That's a great way to think about it. And of course, highlight the positive outcome.
Show them that your delegation strategy works.
They want to see results.
Now, I can already hear the follow-up question coming.
Oh, I know which one you're thinking of.
What if you had a team member who wasn't performing up to par?
Classic, the curveball.
How do you handle underperformance?
That's what they want to know.
And more importantly, how do you mentor and develop those who are struggling?
It's about turning a potential weakness into an opportunity.
For both the individual and the team.
You got it.
So how do you approach this kind of question?
Emphasize your commitment to mentorship, to growth.
Okay, so you're not giving up on them.
Absolutely not. Explain that you'd approach the situation with empathy, with understanding.
Because everyone makes mistakes.
Everyone has room to grow.
Right, so maybe you'd offer additional training, more direct feedback.
Or even adjust their responsibilities, to better align with their strengths.
So it's not about punishing them.
No, it's about helping them succeed.
And ultimately making the team stronger.
That's the goal.
All right, what's another challenging question we should be ready for?
Let's see. Oh, how about this one? How do you handle conflicts or disputes within your team?
Okay, so this is about more than just like military strategy.
It's about being a people manager.
Keeping the team cohesive, functional, even when there are disagreements.
Conflicts happen. It's about how you handle them.
So what would a solid answer look like here?
Specific example, again, your best friend.
Always got to have those examples ready.
Yep. Describe a situation where conflict arose within your team.
And then walk them through your process.
Exactly. How did you identify the root cause? How did you communicate with everyone involved?
And how did you find a solution that was, like, fair to everyone?
You want to show that you're a mediator, a facilitator,
Peacemaker.
someone who can bring resolution without, destroying morale.
Because happy teams are productive teams. Right?
Yeah.
Now, we're focusing on the interview, but these skills are obviously valuable throughout a whole career, right?
Oh, yeah. This is just the tip of the iceberg.
And this is where RoleCatcher's career insights come in.
They show how these leadership and management skills, they become even more crucial as you climb the ranks.
Because the higher you go, the more people you're leading.
And the higher the stakes.
Right. So you have to be able to manage conflict, motivate your team, delegate effectively.
It's all part of the package.
Now, speaking of RoleCatcher, their AI features can also help tailor your answers.
And provide feedback, which is super helpful.
We'll definitely dig into that more later.
That's a whole other conversation.
But for now, let's tackle another question.
Fire away.
All right, this one's about motivation.
Love it. Everyone needs a little motivation.
How do you motivate and inspire your team to achieve their goals?
The art of inspiration.
I'm guessing yelling, "Get it done," isn't the most effective strategy.
Probably not the best approach.
Okay, so what does work? How do you actually inspire your team?
Well, it's about creating that shared sense of purpose.
Like everyone is working towards something bigger than themselves.
Exactly. Clearly communicate the team's goals, how each person's efforts contribute.
No one wants to feel like a cog in a machine.
Right. Make them feel valued, recognize and celebrate their accomplishments, big and small.
Show them that you appreciate their hard work.
And foster a culture of open communication.
Where everyone feels heard, respected.
You got it. That's how you build a strong team.
So it's not just about giving orders.
It's about leading by example, inspiring them to do their best.
And creating an environment where they want to come to work, where they're excited to contribute.
Exactly, where they feel like they're part of something meaningful.
Now I'm wondering, what are some potential follow-up questions about motivation?
Oh, they could ask you to describe a time you had to motivate a team that was feeling discouraged.
Or facing a setback, because those happen too.
They definitely happen, and how did you handle it?
How did you pick them up and get them back on track?
That's what they want to see.
So you really need to show that you understand. Like, motivation isn't one size fits all.
It's about recognizing individual needs,
Tailoring your approach accordingly.
being flexible, adaptable.
Okay, ready for another one?
Bring it on. Let's keep this momentum going.
All right, here's one that might make your palms sweat a little.
Oh, I'm getting nervous.
Can you tell us about a time you had to make a difficult decision under pressure?
Okay, now we're getting real.
We're talking about the heat of the moment, lives potentially on the line.
High stakes.
This isn't deciding what to order for dinner.
Definitely not. This is serious stuff.
So what are they getting at here?
They want to see how you handle pressure.
Can you stay calm, decisive, think clearly when it matters most?
They need to know they can trust you to make the right call.
So what kind of story should you tell?
Choose a situation that exemplifies that high-pressure decision.
Something that really tested you.
Explain the context, the options, the factors that influenced your choice.
Show them your thought process, your ability to handle stress.
And don't be afraid to talk about the outcome, even if it wasn't perfect.
Because you can learn from your mistakes.
Absolutely. It shows that you're willing to own your choices.
Now I'm wondering, could they also ask about the emotional impact of making these kinds of life or death decisions?
Oh, they could definitely go there.
Because even the strongest leaders have moments of doubt, of fear.
It's human nature.
So how do you cope with that emotional burden?
That's what they want to know.
It's about showing that you're not just a strategist, you're a human being.
Someone who understands the weight of those decisions.
And who can still lead effectively, even under that pressure.
Exactly. It's about resilience, empathy, and that unwavering commitment to your team's well-being.
Powerful stuff. Okay, let's shift gears a bit.
Sounds good. Where are we going?
Let's talk tech, specifically about staying up to date.
In the military, things are always changing.
Constantly evolving, so how do you keep up?
That's what they want to know.
Because they want to make sure you're not falling behind.
Right. They want to see that you're committed to continuous learning, to professional development.
That you're not content to just rest on your laurels.
Nope. You got to keep pushing yourself to be the best leader you can be.
So how do you answer this question?
Be specific. Mention military journals you read, conferences you attend.
Online courses, professional organizations.
Anything that shows you're actively seeking out new knowledge.
You staying ahead of the curve.
That's the key.
Now, could they also ask about a specific technology that you're interested in?
They could definitely go there, wanting you to elaborate on how it might impact the future of warfare.
Or how you'd implement it within your brigade.
It's about showing that you understand the bigger picture, how technology fits into the equation.
And that you can adapt to a rapidly changing environment.
Which is essential in the military.
And this is where resources like RoleCatcher can be so helpful.
They provide a ton of information on, career paths, skills, industry trends.
It's like having a personalized career coach in your pocket.
I love that analogy. It's all about staying relevant.
Speaking of RoleCatcher, their AI can also be a huge help when it comes to tailoring your responses to those specific job descriptions.
We'll dive deeper into that later.
But for now, let's tackle another question.
All right, I'm ready. Hit me with it.
Okay, this one's a bit more situational.
Okay, let's hear it.
Can you tell us about a time when you had to lead a team through a difficult or challenging situation?
Leading through adversity, that's a key skill.
And we know military life is full of difficult situations.
No shortage of challenges there.
But what are they really getting at with this question?
They want to see how you navigate those challenges.
How you inspire your team to keep going, even when things get tough.
They want to see that you can provide support, encouragement, make those tough calls that lead to a positive outcome.
So what kind of story would resonate with them here?
Choose a situation that really tested your leadership.
Something that pushed you to your limits.
It could be a mission that went sideways, a natural disaster, even a personal crisis within your team.
Something that really shook things up.
Paint a vivid picture of the challenges, the actions you took, the impact your leadership had on the team.
Show them how you helped your team overcome that obstacle.
They want to see that you're not just a fair-weather leader.
But someone who can guide and support them through the toughest storms.
Exactly. Someone they can count on when things get rough.
Now, could they also ask about how you handled your own emotional response to the situation?
They could definitely go there, because even the strongest leaders have those moments of doubt or fear.
It's about being human.
So how did you manage your own emotions while supporting your team?
It's about showing that you can be vulnerable, self-aware, and prioritize your team's well-being, even when you're struggling.
They want to see that you're not just a robot, that you can relate to the challenges your team faces.
And that you don't shut down emotionally when things get tough.
Right, because that's not good leadership.
Okay, let's move on to a question that's absolutely critical in the military.
Okay, I'm listening. Which one is it?
Safety.
Can't emphasize that enough.
Absolutely. So one of the questions on RoleCatcher's list is, how do you ensure that your team members are staying safe and following proper protocols?
Seems straightforward.
But I imagine there's a lot more to it than meets the eye.
You're right. Safety isn't just a priority, it's a fundamental value.
It has to be ingrained in everything you do.
They're looking for a demonstration of that unwavering commitment to safety.
A culture of safety within your brigade.
Exactly. It has to be part of the DNA of the team.
So what kind of specific examples could you use to illustrate your approach?
Talk about the training you provide, the safety protocols you enforce.
The systems you have in place to identify and mitigate risks,
Show them that you're proactive, not reactive.
and that you're constantly looking for ways to improve safety,
You can also mention initiatives you've implemented to promote safety awareness.
like making it everyone's responsibility, not just yours.
It's about walking the walk, not just talking the talk.
Could they also ask about a time when a safety protocol was violated
Oh, they could definitely go there.
and how you handled that?
That's where you show accountability, your commitment to corrective action,
And your ability to, turn those instances into learning opportunities.
so you can prevent future incidents.
It's about showing that you take safety seriously and that you're willing to address any violations.
Swiftly and effectively.
Okay, let's move on to our final question for this segment.
Sounds good. Bring it on.
This one's about feedback.
Always important to get feedback.
Absolutely. The question is, how do you handle feedback and constructive criticism from your superiors or peers?
Interesting, because I know the military has a clear hierarchy,
The chain of command?
but feedback can still flow in both directions.
It has to, if you want to be an effective leader.
So what are they looking for here?
They want to see your humility, your willingness to learn,
That you're not afraid to hear how you can improve.
and that you can actually incorporate feedback into your leadership style.
Because no one is perfect, we can all learn and grow.
So how should you approach this question?
Give them specific examples of times you received feedback
Both positive and negative.
and how you used it to get better.
Because it's not just about hearing it, it's about doing something with it.
Exactly. Show them that you're a proactive learner.
Now, could they also ask about a time when you received feedback that you disagreed with?
Oh, that's a good one. They could definitely try to throw you off balance with that.
Because it happens, right?
It definitely happens. You're not always going to agree with everything you hear.
So how do you handle that?
This is your chance to show that you can listen actively, consider different perspectives.
Engage in constructive dialogue, even when you don't see eye to eye.
It's about being open-minded, willing to consider different viewpoints.
Even when they challenge your own beliefs.
Exactly, because sometimes you learn the most from those challenging conversations.
Now, before we move on, I want to circle back to something we touched on earlier.
Okay, I'm listening. What is it?
RoleCatcher and all the amazing resources they offer.
They're a goldmine of information.
Because their platform goes way beyond interview prep.
They offer tools to help you navigate your entire career journey.
Whether you're exploring different paths, figuring out your strengths and weaknesses,
Or even crafting a killer resume and cover letter.
they've got it all.
It's like having a personalized career advisor in your back pocket.
I love that analogy.
And their AI features are particularly impressive.
They can analyze job descriptions, highlight your missing skills, even help you tailor your application materials.
It's all about giving you that competitive edge,
So it's like having a data-driven career coach working behind the scenes.
helping you optimize every step of the way.
And that's something we'll definitely be diving deeper into later on.
Oh yeah, we've got a lot more to cover.
But for now, let's take a quick break, and then we'll be back to explore the career ladder insights that RoleCatcher provides.
I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, so we've really gone deep on those tough Brigadier interview questions.
We've tackled some of the big ones.
Yeah, we've given you the tools, hopefully.
A framework.
But now let's zoom out a bit.
Get the bigger picture.
Exactly. Because, you don't just wake up one day and boom, you're a Brigadier.
It's a journey.
It's a process, a progression.
A career ladder, you could say.
And luckily, RoleCatcher, they've actually got some great insights into that career ladder.
They lay it all out for us.
Okay, so walk me through it. Where does it all begin?
Well, think of it as like a series of stepping stones.
Okay, I like that.
Each one building on the last, preparing you for that ultimate leadership role.
So where's the first step?
Usually you start with entry-level positions.
Okay, so this is like the ground floor.
Yeah, you're mastering the fundamentals, following orders, proving your dedication.
Showing your potential.
Exactly. You're absorbing everything, proving you're a valuable asset to the team.
You're building that foundation.
And then as you gain experience, prove yourself.
You move up the ladder.
You transition into those junior officer roles.
Okay, so now things are getting a bit more serious.
The responsibilities increase. You might be leading smaller units, developing those tactical decision-making skills.
So now you're not just following orders.
And now you're starting to give
You're leading by example, inspiring those under your command.
a whole new level of leadership.
That's exciting stuff. And then what?
Well, if you keep excelling,
You keep climbing that ladder.
you move into senior officer positions.
Okay, so now we're talking like big leagues.
You're commanding companies, shaping those larger strategies, even mentoring other officers.
You're the mentor now.
Yeah, this is where you really hone those leadership skills, expand your knowledge, and get ready for those high-level command roles.
So it's a constant evolution. It's not just about, years of experience.
It's about growth, continuous learning.
Always seeking out those new skills and knowledge to become a more effective leader.
And that's where resources like RoleCatcher come in. They provide those insights into industry trends, skill development,
It's like having that personalized career coaching, always staying ahead of the curve.
keeping your finger on the pulse.
Now, one thing that really stood out to me in RoleCatcher's guides,
What was that?
they had these, example profiles for each career stage.
Oh, yeah, those are great.
It's like getting a glimpse into the lives of people who've actually walked this path.
Real-world example.
Super insightful.
Yeah, they give you a tangible sense of what each stage really entails, what kind of responsibilities you might have.
How you might even describe your own experience.
It's like having a mentor right there in your pocket.
Sharing their journey, offering advice,
It helps you understand the nuances of each stage,
the specific skills that are valued.
the impact you can have at different points in your career.
It's like seeing both the forest and the trees.
You get the bigger picture.
And you realize that becoming a brigadier, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
It takes time, dedication.
Perseverance, and that willingness to constantly learn and grow.
But with the right mindset and the right resources, it's achievable.
Speaking of resources, let's talk about something that's becoming super important.
What's that?
AI. Specifically, RoleCatcher's AI.
Ah, yes, the power of technology.
How it can be your secret weapon in, landing that dream brigadier role.
We touched on it earlier.
But I think it deserves a deeper dive.
It's a game changer.
Because in the past, job seekers were kind of on their own.
Relying on generic advice, gut instincts.
Crossing their fingers.
But now with AI, we've got personalized insights, tools that can really boost our chances of success.
It's like having a data-driven career advisor in your corner.
Working behind the scenes to help you optimize every step.
And RoleCatcher's AI features they're really impressive.
They've really pushed the boundaries.
So for example, their AI can analyze job descriptions,
Break them down.
pinpoint those exact skills and experience that employers are looking for.
And then highlight any gaps in your profile.
Whoa, it's like having X-ray vision into the mind of the hiring manager.
You can tailor your application with laser precision.
And it goes beyond just identifying gaps.
It can suggest ways to bridge them.
Okay, that's super helpful.
Maybe it's additional training, volunteer experience, or even just reframing your existing skills.
So you can align them with the job requirements.
Turn those perceived weaknesses into opportunities.
I love that, turning weaknesses into strengths.
It's all about using AI to your advantage.
But I know some people might be, hesitant about AI,
Yeah, it's new. It can feel a bit impersonal.
like they're losing control of their own career narrative.
But it's important to remember, AI isn't meant to replace human judgment or creativity.
It's a tool.
A powerful tool that can help us make smarter decisions, present ourselves in the best possible light.
It's like having a co-pilot on your career journey.
Providing guidance, but you're still the one in control.
And in a competitive field like the military, any advantage can make a difference.
Every little bit counts.
So how can RoleCatcher's AI specifically help you prep for that brigadier interview?
Well, they have this amazing feature. You can practice your responses and get AI-powered feedback
Like a virtual mock interview.
with a panel of experts, but without the pressure of a real-life setting.
So you can refine your answers, build confidence.
And the feedback is super detailed.
They really go deep.
It analyzes your word choice, your tone, even your body language
And then gives you personalized suggestions.
to help you make that strong impression.
So it's like having a speech coach, a body language expert, all rolled into one.
All thanks to AI.
Can it also, suggest examples or stories from your past.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Ones that you might not even think of yourself.
RoleCatcher's AI, it has access to this huge database of interview questions and successful responses.
Wow, so it can analyze your past experience.
And suggest specific examples that would be really compelling for that Brigadier role.
Like it's digging through your memories to find the perfect story.
Helping you craft the most persuasive, memorable narrative.
It's about harnessing the power of technology to really highlight your strengths, help you stand out.
And in a field like the military, that's crucial.
Now, before we move on to our final segment,
We're almost there.
I want to touch on one more thing.
Okay, shoot.
RoleCatcher's network management tools,
Ah, those are fantastic.
because networking it's essential in the military.
It's all about relationships, mentors, peers, potential sponsors.
People who can guide your career, open doors to new opportunities.
Then RoleCatcher makes it so much easier to manage those relationships.
You can import contacts, categorize them, track interactions, even set reminders for follow-ups.
It's like a CRM, but for your career.
Keeps you organized, proactive,
It's a real game changer.
because in this field, who you know is often just as important as what you know.
It's all about connections.
All right, ready to wrap things up with our final segment.
Let's bring it home.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive. We've gone from the intense demands of being a brigadier,
And the incredible rewards.
those tricky interview questions.
Those curveballs.
They can really make or break your chances.
You're tough.
And we even explored that career ladder
And how it all kind of fits together.
with RoleCatcher's AI as that secret weapon.
It's a game changer.
But before we wrap up, I want to bring it back to, the listener.
What are the key takeaways here?
What should they be walking away with?
Well, first and foremost, becoming a brigadier, it's demanding, but it's achievable.
If you've got the drive, the dedication,
And you equip yourself with the right tools,
you can make it happen.
it's not impossible.
It's not just about tactical skills and experience.
It's about leadership, strategic thinking.
And that constant desire to learn and grow.
Never stop learning.
And one thing that really stood out to me,
What's that?
the importance of preparation,
You can't just wing it.
especially not for a brigadier interview.
You got to have a strategy.
And that's where RoleCatcher comes in. They provide that roadmap.
Those insights that can help you navigate those tough questions.
They don't just, throw questions at you and say, good luck.
No, they break it down.
They explain why those questions are being asked
What the interviewers are really looking for.
and how to craft answers that, really showcase your strengths.
Your experience.
And of course, the AI,
Can't forget the AI.
RoleCatcher's AI features, they really take it to another level.
They do.
Imagine practicing your interview responses and getting personalized feedback,
Like a virtual mock interview with a panel of experts.
but without the pressure of, the real thing.
It's invaluable.
You can refine your delivery, polish your answers, build your confidence.
And the feedback is so detailed.
It analyzes your word choice, your tone, even your body language.
They really thought of everything.
And then it gives you suggestions to help you make that strong, lasting impression.
It's like having a speech coach and a body language expert all in one.
Now, I want to touch on something we haven't really discussed explicitly.
Okay, what is it?
Our sources, they focused heavily on traditional military experience.
As the path to becoming a brigadier.
But what about those with leadership experience outside the military?
That's interesting.
Could someone who's been a CEO, used to leading large teams, making those tough decisions?
Could they transition into this world?
It's definitely food for thought.
Because maybe those skills are more transferable than we think.
And maybe we'll see more of that in the future.
As the lines between traditional military experience and leadership experience in other sectors, they start to blur.
It's a changing world.
It is, and it's exciting to see how things evolve.
And that's what I love about these deep dives.
Me too.
They not only equip you with the knowledge and tools to succeed,
But they also make you think, challenge assumptions.
and never stop learning.
That's the key.
So whether you're aiming for a brigadier role or, any other leadership position,
Remember to embrace those opportunities for growth.
challenge yourself and never stop learning. And a huge thank you to RoleCatcher for all the resources and insights.
Absolutely, they're a fantastic resource.
And to you, the listener, thanks for joining us on this journey.
We hope you found it insightful, inspiring.
And maybe even a little bit challenging.
Until next time, best of luck in your endeavors.
Keep learning, keep growing.
And keep striving for excellence.
See you next time.